Do you know what I like to do after a long work week? I like to raid my cellar. Come with me. Welcome back to Drinking It In. I'm your host, Chris Casara. We are here to help you know more and drink better, and it's time for a cellar raid. We opened a 2010 Fontodi Chianti Classico Gran Selezione Vigna del Sorbo. So Fontodi is an amazing producer. Sorry, 2011. I said 2010. Amazing producer in Chianti. They have a wine that's a bit culty, it's Flacinello, which is a much higher price. Although this one, I think at the time was about $80. But one of the really, it's a real special wine from the Chianti Classico region, and we're going to taste it today. I have one more bottle in the cellar. I'm going to give it plenty more time because my sense is that this wine has plenty of life left in it. But let's put that theory to the test. Gran Selezione. We got that. Hopefully you can see that. You have basic Chianti Classico, you have Chianti Classico Reserva, and then you have Gran Selezione. It's basically the aging requirements go up as you get to the top. Gran Selezione is 30 months minimum aging requirement. So you tend to get a little more power and oak influence in these wines, but let's see what we get. I opened this about 2 hours ago. Didn't decant it, didn't pour it into a glass or anything at all. Just let it breathe. Oof, this is interesting. This almost has a Napa Cab type nose. So in Chianti Classico, the minimum 80% Sangiovese. I don't know if this is, there are some. You're allowed to use some other grapes, but Sangiovese and Cabernet Sauvignon from the vineyards are being blended in the proportions allowed by the Chianti Classico DOCG. I wish I would have just told you what I thought before I read that, because this has Napa Cabernet nose essences. So it's dark, it's inky, it's like blackberry jam almost. I think there's a pretty decent amount of Cabernet in here that's making its presence felt. I'm getting that, I don't want to call it nutmeg, but a nutmeg, clove, baking spice type note, which will come from the extra aging. You can tell that I'm enjoying this nose because I continue to go back to it. And I know you just want me to taste it to get this over with, right? It's a really beautiful nose, though. But it's very reminiscent of Napa Cabs. It's not so reminiscent of what I would think of when it comes to Sangiovese. There's a lot of power here. Mouth coating. There's still some tannins, but they kind of evaporated pretty quickly. It's funny, on the palate, this is very hardcore cherries. So that presence of the darker fruit, the blackberries, the black currants kind of went away. It turns into cherries that are borderline red. So there's black cherries and a red cherry mixture, if you think of it that way. The percent alcohol, I'm guessing this is probably around 15. Alcohol, 15% by volume. Not bad. This is, you can feel it. You feel it. It's a big wine. But this thing is dynamite. So if you're in a steakhouse, one of the things that I always say is, people always gravitate towards Cabernet. I love Chianti Classico with steak, whether you're at a steakhouse or at home. This one's even more so because there's Cabernet mixed in. I'll do some research just to see if I can get the actual percentages. were used in this vintage. But, you know, it got the Doc G. So, you know, whatever is allowed, they, you know, they played by the rules. This is great. This is really good experience, a really good cellar raid. I'm glad I have one more bottle left upstairs, or up, I say in the cellar, but upstairs in this case. You know, if you have the ability to taste one of these wines, whether it's in a tasting or if you happen to see one on a shelf and you're okay shelling out the bucks for it, I think now they're about $100. I encourage you to do so. But don't be in a rush to drink these. So this 2011 vintage, we're now in 2023. Yeah, thanks for all the information I provide you on this channel, right? Just by the tannins that are here and the brightness of the fruit, I would say that this has a lot of life left in it. But I might give the next bottle like another 5 years. Like, I don't know that I want to really rush to finish it up and, you know, to drink that one. Good stuff. 2011, underrated vintage. I mean, a vintage of pretty decent pedigree, but when it happened right after 2010, which was ultra legendary, it didn't really get the reputation that it deserved. And anything that I've had from 2011, mainly, you know, in Italy through Chianti Classico, Brunello, or Barolos, has been just stunning. So, you know, another thing, you just happen to see some of these out in the wild, go for it. Yeah, it's beautiful. This is just a beautiful wine. Silky and elegant too. It's powerful, but it's silky and elegant. That's an art. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I'll see you soon. Cheers.